To me, unity is realizing that we have differences, but putting them aside and focusing on what brings us together instead.
Unity to me means it means love. It means appreciating all of the differences that we all have.
Unity is very important to me. I know a lot of times we focus on the ways that we're divided, but I think that we have so much more in common that brings us together.
Unity is being a supportive friend and being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Unity is very important for our children. They are our future, and there's no reason to teach hate and separation. We come into this world loving each other naturally, no matter what we look like. So if anything, we should look at them for an examples on how to treat people.
I think unity to me just means, coming together with the community and working together as one.
Unity to me means like working as a team and making each other better.
Welcome to Unity Works, an Extol Media production presented by Koetter Woodworking. I'm Angie Fenton. I'll try that one more time. Welcome to Unity Works, an Extol Media production presented by Koetter Woodworking. I'm Angie Fenton. Today, we have music. Linkin Bridge is in the house. We have a mayor. We have magic in the kitchen. We have a memorable judge. And we even have live painting going on right now. Artist J.D. Dotson is here. He's going to be painting throughout the hour, sponsored by the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. We cannot wait to see what creation he comes up with. But the theme, like I said, it's Unity Works. And we thought it only fitting to start with Linkin Bridge. You, of course, saw them gain national fame and continue that national fame. But we have the fellas in house, including one who's a Hoosier. We'll talk with him in just a moment. But Montre, I think you often act as the spokesperson. So let's just start with this, introductions of everyone, because we're going to get a chance to hear you sing.
Well, of course, I'm Montre Davis. This right here is James Crawford III. We have Raul right here, China Lacey, and a big Rome, Kimbrough.
Yeah.
Now, glad to see all of you. China, I was surprised to learn this morning, you're a Hoosier.
Oh, most definitely, yes.
Okay, and you're coming from Jeffersonville.
Yes, I am. Yes, not that far.
Not that far. And in fact, we have our reporter, Addie Miners, who's in Jeffersonville today. We're going to go live to her in just a little bit coming up to show you an amazing place you'll want to consider if you're interested in a staycation. But let's talk unity. I mean, I got to take a seat for this. Montre, you all made the news over and over again this summer. We know where we are as a country. We know where we are as a community. We know the divisiveness, but you together took a stand on unity. Can you explain that a little bit?
Basically, we wanted to show that unity doesn't just come from one part of the community. We have blacks, we have whites, we have Hispanics, we have us from the neighborhoods. We have the mayors, the Asian community. We have the governor, we have the police department, we have just everyone is a part of our community. Everyone goes home to their families, and it's just unity to us is basically like togetherness of all people. Absolutely. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, your preferences. We just we love everybody. So to unity, to us, unity, it means love among all brethren.
Big Rome, want to start with you on the end. What does unity mean in your life?
Well, you know what? I think one thing about unity, over the past year, we make references to the past, slavery, Jim Crow, the civil rights movement. And I think one thing about that is we'll never forget from whence we came, but in order to move forward, there has to be forgiveness. Without forgiveness, there is no unity. we learn from the past, and we make things better, and we move forward together.
China?
Well, to me, America is the lighthouse for the rest of the world. And if we show division here, then the world looks dark. So we have to show togetherness and have to be that shining light for the rest of the world to see that, look, you don't have to feud because of race or gender. You don't have to feud because they come together as one. We can do that on this planet. And America's that leading, driving force. And our mission is to put aside our petty issues and think about the bigger picture as love and unity. And that's what it means to me. We have to be that lighthouse, continue to be that lighthouse. And Linkin Bridge will, no matter how dark our circumstances were, we're still going to be positive. We're still going to show people, look, I don't care what color you are. Even if you're purple, green, it doesn't matter. You still got to give someone respect and unity together. That's what it's about, right?
Are you all speaking Spanish?
You can speak in whatever you want. You can even beatbox it if you want.
Well, para mí la unidad es estar juntos, no importa lo que pase, no importa qué raza eres o de qué nación eres o qué prefieras, es estar juntos todo el tiempo.
So tell us in English what you said.
I know what he said.
Because I don't know. I don't understand the word.
I pretty much said that. I mean, I'm not very good at giving speeches, but like it's just being together, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what unity means to me.
Absolutely.
Unity means to me is the answer to what we need. You know what I'm saying? It's powerful. Numbers are powerful. So if we can never get there, then I think it'll be the answer to a lot of problems that we have.
Do you have hope?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we built Linkin Bridge on.
Yes, you did.
It's hope, you know.
You linked and you bridged people together. Now, I will tell you, I begged them, Montreux is my main contact, I begged them to save their one song, where I'm not even going to say the name right now, because it gives goosebumps and induces tears. So you're going to want to stick around, because at the end of the show, it's only fitting that Linkin Bridge, I'm already getting goosebumps again, and the boss too. They are going to close the show for us. But right now, Montreux, what are you going to sing?
Right now, we're going to sing the Negro National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which was Martin Luther King's favorite song.
All right, Linkin Bridge.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought. March on till victory is won.
You'll hear more from Linkin Bridge coming up, but first, a word from our presenting sponsor.
Hello, my name's Jerry Koetter, president of Koetter Woodworking. Just want to share with you where Koetter Woodworking is at today and why it is we think it might be helpful for you to consider Koetter Woodworking as a place and being part of our team. We're excited to be the second generation. Parents started a company in 1959 in the basement of the house here on the property that we're currently sitting. We have approximately 330 team members. Many have been with us for decades. Many are neighbors, and we are very excited and proud of that. We feel like this could be a place for those of you that's never considered looking outside of New Albany, Clarksville, Louisville. We would love for you to consider Koetter Woodworking as a place of work, and not only to have a job or to get a paycheck, but to be part of our team. We're very excited, we're very proud of what we have here at Koetter Woodworking, and would love to share that with you and see the opportunities and where it is that not only the company is going, but where you can go as well. We would certainly appreciate the opportunity to have you come and visit and take a day and just understand what opportunities lie possibly in your future.
Welcome to Unity Works, an Extol Media production presented by Koetter Woodworking. We're so glad you're joining us. If you're just joining us, you missed Linkin Bridge, but don't worry, they'll be back singing another song coming up here in just a little bit. This morning, I promised that we have music, we have magic in the kitchen, we have a memorable judge, we have an incredible man from Indiana University Southeast, we have an amazing mayor. I'll talk with her in a moment. And we have live painting occurring right now, thanks to the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. We have artist JD Dotson, who is creating a work of art that only has the theme unity. We'll talk with him coming up, but this piece will actually be auctioned off at the signature fundraiser for the Arts Alliance coming up later on this year. But right now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Charlestown Mayor Treva Hodges, otherwise known as Dr. Mayor. Mayor, I'm going to recap this, and so you feel free to go ahead and throw in some details if I get this wrong. Mayor Hodges went viral on TikTok, of all places. We're going to talk about your use of TikTok in a second because I love it. I think we can convince them for sure. We'll get Linkin Bridge in here. But she went viral after sharing when she became mayor of Charlestown. By the way, first ever female mayor, not to mention a limited number of mayors across our country, and the only female mayor in Clark County, Indiana. And she went viral because a man said, "How do I address you? Mayor?" And she added in the TikTok, or technically Dr. Mayor, she has her doctorate. How in the world did you handle that with such grace?
I wouldn't say it was the only time it happens. I think when you're when it's something new, it takes people just a second to kind of adjust to it. And so I think seeing a woman in that office is a bit rattling for some. And so they're trying to negotiate that space. And I handle, when he said, what do I call you? Is it Mrs. Mayor? Because a woman, it doesn't feel right calling you mayor because you're a woman. I just humor, I think that's the answer to it all. I mean,
do you handle things like that? I have to say I am, and I'm, instead of smacking back at someone, sometimes, you can kind of and use that as a teachable moment, as a moment to embrace someone.
Absolutely. I think you have to call it out. I mean, what are your options? You ignore it? Well, why would I do that? Because it's worth calling out to draw attention to it, but how you call it out matters. And I think you allow people to save face when you just kind of poke fun at it and say, okay, just don't do that again. I think they remember it.
When you decided to run for mayor of Charlestown, and I mean, mayor is a humongous job, what compelled you to do that?
I was kind of fed up, and it's actually very appropriate that we're here talking about unity, because what I saw in my community was a complete division. And this happened to be on party lines, and I said, we're better than this, and we can come together and serve our city in a healthy, transparent, reformative way, regardless of where we stand on political issues. If we just have a leader who's willing to listen, and I felt we didn't have that, and it was time to step into the game and see if I could do it.
Now, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I just joined TikTok. I have yet to create a TikTok. Thankfully, I have a wonderful team that I'm a part of who can do some editing. I'm slowly dipping in there, but you're one of the few people that I've intentionally searched out to follow, you're rocking the TikTok.
I think social media especially for elected officials, honestly, I feel like social media is our way to be out there. And I think we need more elected officials who are out there because that's the pulse on the community. That tells me what people are thinking and how they're reacting. And I can reach a different audience depending on the different venue. TikTok is just another group of audience that I can play with, have fun with. They can see me as just a real person. There's nothing mythical about me. I'm just Triva.
That's one of the things, you are so genuine. Now, Mayor, who are your supporters? Where's your support system? Because you had to have been backed, and I'm not talking about politically,
Sure.
financially, and all of that, but who are they to actually to run and win? That's a tremendous undertaking. And also, I just have to say this, especially as a first, having kind of a little bit of a bullseye on your back, but also some heavy shoulders, because there are a lot of people looking up to you saying, wait a minute, she did it. Maybe I can.
Yeah, the supporters are just your average Charlestown folks, the people that live there, work there, come home to play there. Regardless of political affiliation, I think that my message spoke to people across all spectrums, across all incomes, across all religions and everything else, because I do focus on listening to folks. And my goal is just to put our community out there. We want to be a regional player and we want to bring that. It's funny you mentioned the heavy shoulders, because little girls look at me differently than I ever would. I didn't realize that going into it, that would become a thing. And so I had a visit from a young lady that I know in our community. She's about 8 or 9 years old. When I first started, her name is Eva. Okay. And her grandpa brought her into City Hall because he said, well, she wants to meet the mayor. I said, well, bring her on in. So she came in, we hung out, we were deputy mayor for the day. We had a good time, and she looked at her granddad and she said, Dad, or Papa, if you just drop the TR, you have Eva.
Oh.
So I'm going to be mayor one day. I was like, get it, Eva. So absolutely, you can be mayor someday.
Oh, I love to hear that. And I love to hear you also talk about how you are, fully into serving people and listening to people. She was on time, but we were getting a little concerned if we needed to just rearrange some interviews. And the truth is, it's because you stopped what you were doing to do what it is that you should be doing and helped a constituent already this morning. I love that about you. I have some friends who just moved to Charlestown. They are thrilled, sharing their life on Facebook. What is Charlestown for people who don't know, and also talk about how they can come and experience it next week?
Sure. So Charlestown is the perfect place to come home to. We're growing. There's going to be, the economy is booming because of our growth of Woodworking Bridge. But the beauty of Charlestown is that we are so authentic, and we have that small town feel. And we have the perfect example of that coming up next week. We have our Founders Week celebration that kicks off tomorrow with everything from a 5K run to trivia nights to gospel singing on Wednesday night and our ice cream social. And then it culminates next Friday with the balloon blow. It's the first time we've done this, so we're excited to see how it goes. But we've got a couple of bands, Mad Taxpayers and Dangerous Ally coming into play. We're going to have a hot air balloon blow. And it should be just a really good time to hang out with people, get out of the COVID shutdown and experience our community, see each other's faces, hug on each other, and just experience that small town life again.
Okay. Last 2 questions. What does unity mean for you?
For me, unity requires courage. I think unity is something that it doesn't just happen organically. I think you have to work for it. It's easy to fall into divides, and I think it takes courage to say, you know what, we're going to be unified. We're going to listen to one another, because that's the key. Is you have to be willing to sit down with folks and listen to even the most difficult truths. And if you can do that and you have that courage, then you're going to create a more unified community, city, town, state, country, and we'll be able to get past any ugliness and move forward.
Thank you so much for taking the time. And I said 2 questions, so final question. If you were able to do a TikTok with Linkin Bridge, set that scene for us. Are you in the middle? You've got Raul who's beatboxing. Are you joining him?
I don't know. I'm a public servant, and I think that my message is that people should lean on me. So I think we should lean on me together. Have a little bit of an impromptu party. Those unscripted things are what you need on TikTok.
And we probably can make that unscriptedly happen. But first, right now, we're going to toss it to Addie Miners, who is our Extol media reporter. Addie and actually Colin Wood, who's our photographer. They're in Jeffersonville this morning. And Addie, I'm going to let you take it away.
I think they're about to go to it.
Where are you, who you're with, and why that might be a place to consider if you're interested in a staycation.
Hey Angie, how are you? We are over in Jeffersonville at the Villas on Spring. I'm here with the owner, Marshall Pence. And so just tell us a little bit about, there's 4 Airbnbs right here, 4 villas. We are currently in a geometric villa. Yeah, so just tell us a little bit about your Airbnbs here.
Well, I'd like to call myself a eclectic artist. Mm-hmm. So I always liked art. And I thought, well, how could I transition from art to Airbnbs, or let's say staycations? That's a great word to use. So I came up with this concept of taking small units, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and just making them, affordable, fun, just to bring the community together, like unity. Mm-hmm. So basically, that's where we're at. And this is one of 4, and this one is called the Geometric, and of course it comes with all types of amenities. Like, we have washer and dryers, we have car service, we have van service to shuttle you guys around. We also provide e-bikes, and we also have private chefs. So you can actually have a private chef come in and take care of you while you're
which would be great because I love to cook, but sometimes when I'm on vacation, I'm not trying to cook. I would rather have someone do it for me, or go to some of the restaurants here on Spring Street.
Absolutely. And the chefs that we use are local, and those guys are big on using all the local products to bring together everyone. In this community, we try to shop small, shop local. That's one of the key components of this makeup.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of shopping local, you've got a few, like you said, you like art, and you've got a few local art pieces right around here in the villa.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we talk a little bit about that?
Okay, well, this is a refurbished breakfast nook. So we just took a flea market table and we made it into a cute little breakfast nook, which is like one of our favorites. This is the most asked for villa right now. And I'd say we just do different type of themes in each and every one. The unit 1 is called the farmhouse. Unit 2, we call that the Ali room. And soon to be unit 3 is going to also be pretty much just fun. We're going to call it fun in the splash. So.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I definitely am trying to have a staycation over here. I'm just from right across the bridge, but that's also the good part is, people can come visit and stay here and check out all that Louisville has to offer and also all the cool spots in Jeffersonville.
Absolutely.
But it's also a good staycation, like you said, little getaway. You've got, I know you said that this one's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but you also have a 1-bedroom, right?
Yeah, for just, somebody just wants to get away, and we use, and actually a lot of the pallets use our 1-bedrooms because they enjoy them too. And it keeps them centrally located because we're only minutes from the airport. So,
perfect. Yeah. So now more about the artwork in here. So you said obviously this is the geometric villa. Absolutely. So let's walk in here and just take a look at the cool shapes on the wall. You've got some cool, art pieces, decor, all that fun stuff. So what made you choose geometric?
Well, it was just a theme, and actually, to be honest, I really got the theme for the butt box. So we started with actually this piece, and we moved on from there. So that's really what we thought. God, this would be awesome in here. So
it is awesome. It is awesome. I kind of want one now. I know our camera guy Colin was talking a little bit about maybe getting one himself. So very, very cool.
And you can purchase those at our Barber Academy right next door. But like I said, that's how it all got started off this little bump box, and we thought that was neat. So we tried to transform that concept to this concept.
Into this big, beautiful wall here. Yeah. Well, it's awesome, and it's very fun and unique experience. And, like I said, plenty of shops and things to do right on Spring Street in Jeffersonville.
Yes.
So awesome. So let's take a look into some of these bedrooms as well. just take a peek in there. So tell me a little bit about, what's going on in here.
Then again, once again, we were working with shapes and images, to make it seem geometric.
Awesome. So, like I said, this is the Villas on Spring in Jeffersonville. And if you would like to check this place out, maybe come stay for a little staycation with Marshall, you can check them out at thevillasonspringin.com. Back to you, Angie.
I'm Brad C. This is Ryan C. with Kentucky Mortgage Group.
We are so proud to be a part of downtown New Albany and Southern Indiana community and excited to support the Unity Works initiative with Extol magazine.
I want to say thank you to Kentucky Mortgage Group, one of our sponsors of Unity Works, presented by Extol Media, and Koetter Woodworking. Judge Maria Granger is joining us now, and Addie also can't wait to check out those villas over in Jeffersonville, finding hidden gems over there.
That sounds wonderful.
Judge Granger, we're talking about unity today, and one of the reasons we wanted to have you here is people tout the program that you have for veterans in our community. And I think I don't want to even attempt, I think I wouldn't even do it justice, no pun intended. Can you explain what that program is and what you're doing for veterans?
Sure. It's an alternative to the normal processing for a case that comes into the justice system. So what we do is when we encounter a veteran who has gotten in trouble with the law, we assess them. We look at what was the underlying reason as to why they encountered trouble to begin with. And then we propose a plan and give an opportunity to get their case completed. It's their choice, but if they choose to come in, we wrap around them with professionals from all the areas that they would need to get the support and to have the accountability to achieve their goals and not come back into the system.
We're planning on doing a bigger feature with Extol, but I'll let you answer this. How is the program going? And I say that with a smile because I can't tell you, I've lost count of the number of people, including veterans, who have just said, thank you, Judge Granger.
Oh, that just warms my heart so much to hear. This is our 10th year, which I can't believe. It's gone by so fast. We have helped countless of veterans, and then they have then in turn helped their comrades. And that is the beauty of this. And it has spread across the state of Indiana to where there's access for any veteran who needs this care. They can find that anywhere they turn.
I met one of the veterans who graduated from your program, I guess I'll say, working at Hope Southern Indiana. I mean, talking about paying it forward. Yes. You really instilled and inspired, and now he feels like it's a mission for himself to help lift other veterans.
The beauty of Veterans Court is it helps the veteran who may have gotten away from that commitment to service that is in them. It helps them get reconnected to that. And so then they can connect to others. They're that light for other veterans who have gotten disconnected to get back in service again for others.
I love all the imagery today. We've heard with Linkin Bridge, lighthouse and bridge, and using the word light. When it comes to unity, what does that mean in your life?
Oh gosh, unity for me is, it's always been a go-to for me to make relationships, build relationships, understanding, people to have that understanding of who I am. I think whenever it comes to some of the fears that people experience, that understanding, that common ground reduces that and allows us to find a purpose, to equate a vision with one another. So I think all of those things are unity for me.
Absolutely. Now, we talk a lot, and you hear people talking from both sides. And I think today, everybody who is here really believes in unity, but I think that there are people who believe in standing on their side of the line, and that's the only side of the line. And it can feel really hopeless and as if there is no end in sight. But what do you believe? I mean, how do we get past the division that is so pervasive right now?
Well, what you're doing today, this is an opportunity to reach a greater audience, to understand one another better. I think being able to listen and to engage in discussions, even the hard ones. There's a lot of hard discussions to be had to get there. But I think that willingness, being open in our heart and mind, I think those are the things that will get us there.
Okay, to end, some people may see you around town and not always know that it's you. You don't always wear the judge attire. What's one of your favorite things to do in your downtime?
One of the things that people don't know as much about me is that I'm an adventurous spirit, right? I've flown an airplane. I ride my motorcycle as often as I can. And like Linkin Bridge, I'm a lover of music. That's deep in my background, in my family background. So those are some things I don't get to show off as often as I'd like.
We spoke with Mayor Hodges from Charlestown just a few minutes ago. Do you have a TikTok?
I don't.
You stay on TikTok?
I don't. Yeah.
Any plans?
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
You brought your son with you, so you could maybe do a mother-son duo.
Absolutely, absolutely. I could see that in the cards.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time. And like I said, we look forward to having Judge Granger and just a feature that really delves into what you're doing for this community. And I think it encompasses unity in every facet. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
And now another word from one of our sponsors of Unity Works and Extol Media Production.
Here, and here is where you can count on us to keep the lights on. In Indiana, a stronger and more reliable energy grid is right here.
Presented by Koetter Woodworking. I'm Angie Fenton, and this is James Wilkerson of Indiana University Southeast. If you watched any of what we created during Black History Month, you saw James, you heard from him. James, you have a title that actually looks tiny on the screen right now, but I'll let you give the title because it encompasses a lot.
Sure. I am the Director of Equity and Diversity and the Deputy Title IX Coordinator at IU Southeast here in New Albany.
And in addition to that, you're also a writer. People can read you weekly.
That's right. I write a column called The Title IX Guy in the Leo magazine, and also my first book, also called The Title IX Guy, just released on Amazon.
What is it about Title IX, James, that's your wheelhouse and your passion?
Well, when it comes to Title IX, I know we're talking about unity today. Title IX is just another tool that we can use to unify people, especially people on college campuses who are coming to university to get their education. And Title IX says that we should be allowed to do that without having to worry about sexual harassment or discrimination or sexual assault. So I think that's a way that Title IX ties back into unity.
I don't know if you heard me earlier. Mayor Hodges was talking about how she was confronted, not aggressively so much, but inexplicably by someone who said, "I don't know how to address you. Is it Mrs. Mayor?" And it's Mayor just happens to be female. I mean, for someone who knows Title IX, who is there to help fight the fight, what does that make you feel? What does that make you think when you hear that even today, people are still walking that line with the stereotype?
Well, it just reminds me that there's still more work to be done. I mean, we've come a long way. I mean, we are to a point where we have a lot of really strong women that are in leadership positions all across the board, but we can't get comfortable. We have to still remember that there's still people that we have to educate and we have to kind of spread the good news to. So for me, it just says keep working.
One of the things that I appreciated about Black History Month and your involvement is you broke down what equity means and equality. But today we're talking about unity. So coming from especially an academic institution, Indiana University Southeast, so important in our Southern Indiana community, what does unity really look like?
To me, unity looks like people from different walks of life, different corners, different areas, all coming together to work for something bigger than themselves. I'm a huge sports fan. I love my Hoosiers. I love my Wildcats. And if you look at sports, I mean, you see it all throughout sports. You see young men, young women coming together from all different areas, but they're working towards one goal. And I think that's what unity means across the board.
I keep asking this question because I think it's important. You know, you're on Twitter or Facebook or even just tuning into the news or, I mean, just talking to friends or just strangers even, and it's divisiveness. We've all got to, you know, we've got to protect ours. And it can just feel like there is never going to be an end to this. Like the shoes keep dropping until, okay, no more shoes left. And then another shoe drops. Do you have hope that we are going to help one another get up out of this?
I do. And I think that hope comes through communication. We have got to relearn the lost art of discourse if we're going to get to a unified area. There's a lot of conversations that have to be had. And some of those conversations aren't always going to be fun. I know there are people right now running scared of those conversations in the form of critical race theory, but those are the conversations that we have to have if we're going to be unified. We have to know where we've been to understand where we're going to go.
Is Indiana University Southeast ready for the fall semester? It's coming quickly.
Yes, we are. We're all returning on campus, and I know a lot of us, myself included, we are excited to be back in person. So yeah, we're ready. Bring on the students.
Our last magazine, I don't have it, it's on the stand across, I can see it over there. Our last magazine featured Coach Wiley Brown from IUS, head coach of the men's basketball team, and then the world shut down. Can you give us at least any inclination of what 2021, 2022 is going to look like for Indiana University Southeast?
I think a lot of us are just trying to get back into the groove of things, but we're quick learners out there. So we're going to be back in no time, and it's back to business.
Okay. I really appreciate you taking the time. We look forward to having you on with us again. And speaking of again, we have Extol reporter Addie Miners, who's in Jeffersonville for us this morning, where she's checking out a new place. But Addie, in addition to showing us the villas there, would love to have you talk a little bit to Marshall about the Barber Academy.
No, not you.
He is offering
Okay,
one full ride. And I'd love for you to get a little more details about what he offers and what something like that looks like. And also, where in the world is that big heart stuffed inside? Because Marshall just embraces the community as well.
Absolutely. Marshall is a great guy that I've got here with me. And right now we are in his Barber Academy on Spring Street, right next to the villas in Jeffersonville. So she was just talking a little bit about your scholarship that you're planning on offering. So, tell us a little bit about what you do in here and, kind of what your thing is in the barbershop.
Well, we're the only Barber Academy in the whole southern region of Indiana. We've been here 11 years. To date, we've put out about 3,700 barbers throughout the whole state of Indiana. And what's so great about my program is my program allows you to attend the school without your GED or high school diploma. And the good part about it is that you can start when you're 16. So during the summer, these kids can come and work on their trade. Absolutely. And by the time they get out of high school, guess what? They're a licensed barber.
That's a good summer job too. That's a fun summer job.
Fun summer job, yeah, exactly. And what's so great about what we try to keep the tuition low, because it only really takes you about 7.5 months to complete the program. Okay. So we try to pride ourselves in that because we use a lot of digital technology. COVID was a little hard for us, but we kind of made it through, knock on wood. But other than that, it's just really a phenomenal program to where, you can actually get a career in 7.5 months to be able to take care of your family.
Absolutely. It's so important to have a true career and, a true place to land on your feet, especially right out of high school. Sometimes college isn't always an option or, it's not for everyone.
Exactly.
So having a trade is great for people for young kids to come out and already to have a sense of entitlement that they can do something.
Exactly.
And I mean, the shop is beautiful in here too. It's a great spot. I know I would enjoy hanging out in here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because, what People don't understand about barbershops. Barbershops really brings community. It's like the niche, the little thing that holds all communities together. And really, like you say, it's really a unity. It becomes a family, you know, because this is somewhere that you'll probably be going for the next 20 years. You know, we watch kids go from 1 to 31. You know?
You love that. And you know, people are always going to need haircuts.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, everyone's always going to need a haircut.
Exactly.
So, you know, unity is the theme of our show today. So just talk to me a little bit about what unity means
Well,
to you.
unity means to me is, I want to say that unity to me is like giving a person, a lot of times we kind of disregard people in society. We kind of, you know, want to classify people into different sections. And that's the reason why I didn't want to put my barber school into an urban setting, because I want people to think outside the box. I want people to get to know other people, you know, and it's just basically it. It's just about unity. I just want the people to feel comfortable and learn a trade that they can use for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. And that scholarship is really going to help some lucky person out to get to come and work in this great barber shop and learn a fantastic trade.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. From Jeffersonville, thank you, Angie. Back to you guys.
Reporter. We had Colin Wood, our photographer, over there in Jeffersonville. By the way, today, the second portion, this is Unity Works presented by Koetter Woodworking. We have a host of sponsors that we've acknowledged throughout the hour. But in addition to that, from 1 to 4 p.m. today, you're invited to come here to Extol. We're located on the corner of Market and Vincennes in downtown New Albany, 1638 East Market Street, for what we're calling Work With Us. We're offering free headshots. Maybe you need a headshot for your LinkedIn or your Facebook, something on your social media, or just to throw on your resume, helping with resume revision, social media analysis. We'd love to see you. Come out. We'll be here from 1 to 4 p.m. And there are also going to be free haircuts by Marshall Pence, who's the professional barber, who's in addition to that giving away a full ride to the Barber Academy. So that's from 1 to 4 today. Come on out. I'm going to take a wild guess that we might have some things to eat. This is Toni T from Toni T's Cobblers and more. Did you bring the house?
This is only a small portion of it.
Toni, okay, I am going to pull in the person responsible for even just making us aware of you, because if he could be your bestie for life, I think you'd have a taste tester.
I love those. That's good.
When did you start baking?
I started baking probably years ago, watching my grandmother. I think most of us have that story of grandmother in the kitchen. But I had 2 sons. I still have 2 sons, but they're grown. But their younger days in school, I would always make things for the teams. And of course, they graduated from middle school, high school, college, and I did it all the way up. And that's when I joined the farmers market, so I could continue baking, because I love to do that.
Now, Toni T's homemade cobblers and much more. So I'm going to take a wild guess. The cobblers are your specialty.
That's the specialty.
What did you bring for us?
That's a peach crumb cobbler. Oh. Yeah.
I just heard Linkin Bridge back there. I think that was a collective.
Well, it's plenty to sample. Come on in. But yeah, I brought that. I do. We do a blackberry, mixed berry, cherry crumb. Almost about
Just
anything. And caramel apple. Yes, caramel apple.
All right, so Toni, what are you making for us this morning?
This morning, I'm going to introduce you to some of our summer trees. We try to go with the seasons. So, in the fall, we have a lot of pumpkin spice and different things like that. Right now with the summertime, we like to bring out little Koetter trees, since it's get ready to be July, very hot.
You go ahead and put us to
All
work.
right. All right. Well, I'm just going to show you what our goal is.
Sure.
And I think I've already had somebody claim these. So,
We're going to make somebody claim those?
I think we have had somebody claim those
That's
already.
a shocker.
But that's our strawberry special here, and that's our brownie mousse cup.
Okay, so Toni, what
strawberry
do you
shortcake
need?
and brownie mousse cup.
What do you need?
So what we're going to do is get our plastic cups here.
Okay.
Just cups. I'm going to make a few more because I have a feeling they're not going to share. So we're going to make enough for everybody here.
Who in the world would be
Yes.
so selfish not to share your treat?
Yes, yes. Well, I don't know back there, Linkin Bridge. All right.
Did you just call out Linkin
Oh,
Bridge?
no, it might have
No.
slipped. It might have slipped out. I'm
No.
not sure.
And while we're doing this, I will actually ask that we have Fred Reynolds, who is an amazing photographer. We have Brian Shaw, who is with us today. Jason Applegate behind the camera and the mixers. And I'll ask Fred if he'll go ahead and bring in some of our guests. I know they're not mic'd up, but you want to go ahead and bring them into the kitchen to help share. I think we still have Mayor Hodges out there. We've got Judge Granger. There might, James Wilkerson is still here. I'm pretty sure we have your son. We can
Yeah.
throw him in here.
Yes,
I think
yes.
Judge Granger's son is here. We've got a lot of food, folks. Okay, so you're spooning it in.
We are. We take my homemade pound cake,
Oh,
and
I know people don't
that's
like
our
that
basis.
word moist, but it
Oh, gotta be moist.
and
Yes,
delicious.
yes. You gotta start out nice and fresh. Yeah.
Come on in. You all come on in. We need some taste testers.
Yes.
Camera on that. I looked over.
Go ahead and say it again. Sorry.
Sorry, go
Watching
ahead.
the video and they panned in on the color. I was like, we get
Come
some
on
of
in
that,
here.
right?
Come
Like,
on in
you don't want that to go to waste.
All right. Exactly.
Tony, you keep cooking for us
Yep.
here. Or
It's our fresh
assembling.
strawberries.
Okay, fresh strawberries.
Yep.
Do you have a preference
Do I have a
where
preference?
you go? Because we've got some great local places.
I do. At the farmer's market, we actually have strawberries that just came in. So we try to spread that love and get my blackberries and strawberries. And
I think I
So-
almost shed some tears when I missed out on the blueberries. When
oh,
blueberries
yes.
first came the first
And we do
day.
blueberry cobbler as well.
Of
course, it's all season.
Again,
Yes.
where they can find
put a spoon in
you
there.
on Saturdays.
We'll be at the farmer's market. It's at 202 East Market Street from 8 to 12. And it's right up the road, very close. You'll see vendors everywhere. All kind of vegetables are in right now as well. So
And I
feel
tell
free
you,
to join us.
I tell you this, you will know that it's Tony's booth because there is a line that runs all the way around. And I love
Oh,
that.
me too. It's some work, but I love it. I love meeting everybody. So it's already a
Tony,
lot of
before
fun.
we let our guests behind us start eating, and then we're gonna throw in a few other guests for a final interview. We've been talking about unity, and I mean, you can create unity through food. I believe
Absolutely.
that. But what does unity mean in your life?
Well, and I think that's why I continue to bake. It allows me to be sociable with meeting everyone. I'm a big family person. And with COVID, there was a lot of separation and you didn't get to see people the way you did. So with, when they came out with, let's get shots and do all that, I'm like, yes, sign us up, let's do it. Let's start healing and get back to where we are. So with my baking and the market, I meet so many different people. And I think that really is a joy for me, even, operating on 3 hours of sleep usually on Saturday mornings. I'm wide awake once I get to start talking with everybody and meeting all the faces. So I enjoy that.
Absolutely. Now,
Yeah.
I am going to actually go ahead and have our cameras after you finish. Ooh, look at that whipped cream. You all can begin. Tony has spoons and things over there.
I do,
But Brian and
yes.
Fred, we're going to switch gears. And I'm actually going to pull Brian Bell over here for a second.
George,
You
you want
do
to
not
hand those
need
out
that.
for me?
Yep.
You can hand those out.
I'm going to squish us in
There's
if
a
we want
spoon
to
in
go
there.
ahead
Yeah, you
and
do some
change
cardboard
things up
too.
for just a second here.
Okay.
We've got JD Dotson, who has been painting this artwork this whole time. So let me just pass around. JD, step out here for me.
He's
if
gonna
you
put some
wouldn't mind.
cobbler in
Brian,
a
if you
bowl
wanna,
too. So.
Go ahead over here. So tell me what it is that you've created for us during the hour.
So I was talking to a friend about kind of how to symbolize unity and what I'd come up with using the kind of the rainbow colors and kind of the images. We talked about like a braid and how everyone's kind of intertwined and mixed, and kind of that's the visual representation for me of unity. Everybody kind of in and out and moving around. So.
No, I love that you. Can we get a
Can I paint
close
on
up
me?
on? Can we get a
Probably.
close up on the artist's face? Here, you got a little green.
Do I
It-
have?
I mean, but it
this is
matches
my
your
life,
shirt.
So I know.
But JD, we're talking about unity, and I mean, June is also Pride Month, and this is
Right.
part of it. What does unity mean in your life?
I've always kind of thought we're all in this together. So unity to me is just we've all got to kind of stick together and get through it. Stuff is not easy. Life is not easy, especially with everything going on in the world. So yeah, that's unity. Kind of kind of watching out for each other, you know?
Can I also throw you under the bus a little bit, but in a
Please.
positive way? The
Okay.
reason we have Toni T is because you can't stop at the farmer's market when
Yeah.
you see her. can you?
I low key stalk Toni T, so
There's nothing low key about
there's
that.
no low key. It's probably the best. I told her today too, the best bread pudding I've ever had in my life. I mean, come on. Toni T has been really, really awful for my diet, but I'm not mad at it at all.
Hey, it's all about some balance there. And in fact, you can see we've got our guests over here who are enjoying it. But before we go over here, we've got Brian Bell from the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. Now, Brian is the president. Brian, thank you so much for sponsoring JD, who is painting this. And now, when he's finished, where can someone potentially bid for it?
So the Arts Alliance is going to have our annual gala on October 9th at the Horseshoe Casino, or I think it's called Caesars now, the Caesars Casino. And we will be auctioning off this wonderful piece as part of your series that you're having here today. We feel like art is a connector in the community. So what a better way than have a live piece of art that's taking place at this wonderful event that you're putting on.
Okay, so Brian and JD, I'm going to have you actually come on over here. I'm going to sneak into my handy dandy cabinet here. I used to, until February, host a weekday morning show, and now we're going to be live at Extol Studios every single Friday, and you're going to see Extol team create some different kind of productions and things. But one thing that I always try to work in is my handy dandy trivia button. It's one of my favorite things. I love to be able to work in trivia. Toni, do you still have some sweets over there?
I do. Got
Okay,
plenty.
so we're
We
gonna
have
do
plenty of
something
sweets.
here. We got plenty of sweets.
Yep.
I did not, for the record, I did not give a heads up at all to JD or to Brian. Shout out to Brian Bell. Not only is he the director of the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana, one of our sponsors, he also is an amazingly busy real estate broker, a dad. And last night on the corner of Market and Vincennes is where Extol, this is our new home. We haven't even been here for 3 weeks. Last night, he helped Jason Applegate hang that tremendous sign. I mean,
That was common.
that's a nice
It was
way to
quite
say it.
common.
I hear we owe you.
Oh yeah, a little.
I think there's a massage in your future, but right now there's a little bit of trivia. All right, the winner gets the first taste. So here we go. Here we go. Well, here are the rules here. You have to put your hands behind your back, and when you know the answer, and then you have to answer it. All right. Which pop star has made headlines this week and been wrapped in unity from the public after sharing her reality?
Britney Spears.
Absolutely. May I have? We'll take that. I'm just putting it by you. That's all. Okay, this actor personifies unity, at least in my book. He voiced both Darth Vader and the Lion King's Mufasa.
Who is John Paul Jones? What?
No!
It's Jones. His last name is Jones. What's his first name? The deep voice.
Montree knows, so I'm going to let him steal it. James
James
Earl
Earl
Jones.
I hear the voice.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Speaking of unity and inclusion, what was the first, and it's about time, non-English language film to win Best Picture at the Oscars? Clock is ticking. Clock is ticking.
Wow.
Can anyone else steal it?
See, I don't feel so bad. Nobody else knows.
Parasite. These are not the answers, and also you can't read that. You couldn't read that anyway. All right, last question, and JD, you know we're going to give you some sweets anyway, just because we love you. This pop star believes in inclusion, diversity, and unity, and is the godmother of both of Elton John's sons.
Who's Gaga?
Oh, born this way. Absolutely. There you go. There you go. Thank you both, Toni T. You can see her again on Saturdays at the New Albany Farmers Market. We love farmers markets.
Thank you.
This isn't your full-time job, though.
No. I'm a UPSer for 31 years. Sorry, I'm
See you
losing track.
Tomorrow, will you actually get any sleep?
About 3 hours.
You've had some
Yep.
dedication.
Get ready for tomorrow.
That is dedication. I want to thank our reporter, Addie Miners. This was her first remote with us. She was over in Jeffersonville. Marshall Pence at the Barber Academy for joining us. He'll be here again today. Thank you so much to Mayor Hodges, Judge Granger, James Wilkerson, and everyone who has joined us. I am going to step over here. How's the food?
Oh, it's phenomenal. Fantastic.
I should shut my mouth and start eating is what I think. Once again, thank you for joining us for Unity Works, an Extol Media production presented by Koetter Woodworking. Thanks to Kentuckiana Mortgage Group, to the Elder Company. Thank you to Duke Energy, the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana, Work One, and also to the Barber Academy and Marshall Pence for sponsoring this. Extol will be live on our YouTube and our Facebook page at 11 o'clock every single Friday, starting today with this kickoff. And if you missed it, the great thing about it is not only will we be sharing those both on YouTube and on our Facebook page, but we'll be sharing the segments throughout the week. I think this is the fitting way to end a production about unity with Linkin Bridge. Grab your hankies, take it away. Let's rise up.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. Can't find that fighter. I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. Move mountains. All right, like the day, all right, all right, silence is quiet. Feels like it's getting hard to breathe. Know you feel like dying, but I promise you we'll take the world to its feet. Ooh, mountain. Mountain. All right. I'll rise up, I'll rise up, I'll rise up. We'll do it 1,000 times again. Thank you.
And for joining us, thank you to Linkin Bridge. Let's rise up. And again, you're invited to join us from 1 to 4 p.m. today here at Extol Studios, 1638 East Market Street in New Albany. Thank you so much.